The path to love is not an easy one, but it is well worth the journey. Anne and Gilbert have learned this from experience, as seen in this cutting from the last chapter of Anne of the Island by Lucy Maud Montgomery. When Gilbert arrived the next afternoon, Anne was waiting for him, looking fresh as the dawn and bright as a star. She was wearing a green dress, an old one that Gilbert had told her he liked especially. It was just the right shade of green to bring out the rich tints of her hair, the starry gray of her eyes, and the iris-like delicacy of her skin. Gilbert, glancing sideways at Anne, thought she had never looked more lovely. Anne, glancing at Gilbert every now and then, thought how much older he looked since his illness. It was as if he had put his boyhood behind him forever. The day was beautiful, and the way was beautiful. Anne was almost sorry when they reached Hester Gray's garden, but it was beautiful there, too. The call of the brook could be heard coming up through the woods from the valley of birches, with all its old allurement. The mellow air was filled with the purr of the sea. Just beyond were fields, surrounded by fences bleached silvery gray in the suns of many summers, and long hills scarfed with the shadows of autumnal clouds. With the blowing of the west wind, old dreams returned. I think that the land where dreams come true is in that blue haze yonder, just over that little valley. Have you any unfulfilled dreams, Anne? Asked Gilbert. Something in his tone made Anne's heart beat wildly, but she made answer lightly. Well, of course, everybody does. It wouldn't do for us to have dreams fulfilled. If we'd be as good as dead if we had nothing to dream about. Oh, what a delicious aroma that setting sun is extracting from the asters and ferns. I wish we could see perfumes as well as smell them. Oh, I'm sure they would be beautiful. But Gilbert was not to be thus sidetracked. I have a dream. I persist in dreaming it, although it has seemed to me many times it will never come true. I dream of a home, a fire hearth, and a cat and a dog, the footsteps of friends, and you. Anne wanted to speak, but she could find no words. Happiness was breaking over her like a wave. It almost frightened her. I asked you a question almost 2 years ago, Anne, and, well, if I asked it again today, would you have a different answer for me? Still Anne could not speak, but she lifted her eyes, filled with all of the love rapture of countless generations, and gazed into his for a moment. He wanted no other answer. They stayed there in the old garden until twilight, sweet as Dust in Eden must have been, crept over it. There was so much to talk about and recall, things said and done, heard and thought, felt and misunderstood. Oh, Gilbert, I'll never forget the night that I thought you were dying. I knew then, and I thought it was too late. But it wasn't, Anne, it wasn't. Doesn't that make everything seem worth it? Let's resolve to keep this day sacred to perfect beauty for the rest of our lives, for the gift it has given us. It's the birthday of our happiness. Oh, I've always loved this old garden, and now it will be dearer to me than ever. Oh, but I'll have to ask you to wait, Anne. It'll be 3 years before I finish my medical course, and even then there will be no diamond sunbursts in marble halls. Oh, Gilbert, I don't want diamond sunbursts in marble halls. I just want you. Sunbursts in marble halls may all be very well, but there's more scope for the imagination without them. And as for the waiting, it doesn't matter. We'll just be happy, working and waiting for each other. Oh, and dreaming! Dreams will be so much sweeter now. Gilbert pulled her close to him and kissed her. Then they walked home together, arm in arm, crowned king and queen in the realm of bridal love, along winding paths fringed with the sweetest flowers that ever bloomed, and over haunted meadows where the winds of hope and memory blew.